Hello and welcome to Ink in the Eyes. Today we're discussing The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charles Mackesy. My name is Charles Salisbury and with me is Ace McAlpine.
Hello.
So, first, Ace Mc, what do you know about the book?
I've seen drawings. I know it's like gentle and supportive and about inner musings.
Okay. Have you read it?
There's a boy, a mole, a fox, and a horse. No, I have not. I've seen the illustrations and I've seen a few quotes from it, but I've not read it. Did it come out
Not read it.
during COVID?
So,
or just before?
It came out in 2019 by Airy Press, which is a subsidiary of Penguin. So Charlie Mackesy is, my apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I probably am. I pronounce most things incorrectly. He's a British artist, and the start of this book is quite an interesting one because he was an artist for The Spectator, which, for those of you who don't know, is kind of a right-leaning, not newspaper, but like a news magazine. It comes out once a week, but it's in a glossy. It basically looks like a comic book, but it's so like the Economist. It's basically like that kind of format. It's very, by right leaning, I mean it's very old English conservative, I suppose you'd say, a little bit like the Telegraph, if that makes any placement to it. Anyway, that's besides the point. He started out as a
keep the monarchy, keep the class system.
Yeah, they're kind of like that
peasants.
vibe. It's the rowdy peasants, red trousers,
cultural.
Yeah, keep it how it should be.
Okay,
and that's what they are saying. So he started his career there. He became an illustrator for the Oxford University Press. He worked with Richard Curtis in Love Actually, and yeah, he's kind of gone from strength to strength. I believe he did a set of drawings,
like seen in the movie or a storyboard.
I don't think they are seen in the movie, so it kind of didn't really make sense when I was researching this. It was like worked on Love Actually to create a set of drawings, auctioned for comic relief. I think he may have done like a BTS drawings, but I haven't seen them.
Okay.
So he was an established artist before this book, but an editor saw his work on Instagram and then got in touch with him and then said, "Would you like to create a book?" So the editor from Airy Press. So it didn't start with him the normal path of I have an idea for a book and blah blah blah.
So when I was researching small presses that did graphic novels in England, a lot of them do actually go on Instagram and look at artists. And I'm thinking of Avery Hill specifically, which I did a business analysis for my master's. And they would do that because they were just so small that they couldn't handle a ton of submissions. And so they would go find artists whose style matched their branding, what they were looking for, and would kind of coach them into writing a graphic novel. I think they did that with a couple. Not all of them.
Interesting. So they would start art first as opposed to story first and then the story illustrator team submissions.
Yes. I know their biggest artist, Tilly Walden, they did that with. And I think one or two other ones. And on their website, they say, we don't take submissions. We'll contact you. Or if we like your art, you've probably been contacted by us. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is an argument.
I suppose that is a good way. Yeah.
Instagram.
Well, actually, an aside note, but due to your darling mother, I'm coming off Instagram, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm done.
Wow.
The final straw.
Your mother or mine?
Your mother.
Did she
follow
you?
No. I thought you'd have an instant reaction to knowing why. So I sent you a video. I have a few pleasures in life.
Oh, okay.
I have a few pleasures in life. And one of them is I like cute animal pictures, be it birds. I follow a lot of birds on Instagram and birders. and photographers that take pictures of birds. I also follow a lot of cats, destructive and destructive puppies, because I think that's quite funny. And my other one, which has been this year mainly, has been raccoons. And I've never seen a raccoon in the wild, so I've never seen a raccoon actually. I love videos of raccoons. I think they're nature's clown. They're great fun. However, I sent a cute little vid of a raccoon in a bowl getting his tush patted, and he was kind of like happy out. And I sent it to you, and you immediately text me saying, my mum says that's AI. And I think she's right.
I didn't think, no, but this was a strange conversation because I showed her and she went, that's AI. I said, it's not. And she said, it is. And I was like, no, I've actually seen this video all over the place. And I know in Japan, there's a lot of accounts, more than, 2, that they have pets as raccoons. And they're usually quite large. And it's, anyway, I was like, it's one of those.
I thought it's nothing sacred. If now...
I think she's suspicious of a lot.
I know, but there is a lot of AI slop of animals.
Because I don't think
so now
AI
I'm out.
could do a hand that well or fur that well. But I could be foolishly optimistic.
Possibly. Maybe I'll stay on it, but it really just tripped me out. I was like, listen, guys, the one thing I'm here for, that I have to scroll, being a man in his 30s, I have to scroll through all this absolute nonsense of right-wing politics and what Trump's done and what other shite is going on in the world and blah, blah, blah. And I do that for an occasional kitten and raccoon. And now I don't even trust them.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad.
I don't get a lot of AI because I immediately...
Oh, so I have noticed I have AI. Like I did see another one. Yeah. I did see another one where cats like run around the place and kind of trash it. And then this guy cut it with his thing saying, this is why it's AI because of X, Y, and Z. And so I was on this path anyway of being like, I just want kittens, man. That's very simple.
Did it look quite real?
Don't need to. So they did it was at night, so it was quite realistic, but the movements were weird. But I just thought it was the refresh rate of a bad camera.
Yeah.
And I did find the camera placing was weird because the camera was like right above their bed, looking down at this woman, and I was like, why would you have a camera there? That's by the time somebody's broken into your house and is in your bed, unless it's like, and it wasn't there for sexy reasons, if that's what you're thinking. Don't think I'm that naive.
That's not what I was thinking, but all right.
But like, I was like, if a burglar is in your house and in your bed and you're taking a video, it's you're kind of too late by that point. You know what I mean? Like, the damage is done. That's not a security measure. That's catching somebody murdering you. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So
maybe we get off before the slop takes over. Actually, when I was doing the art for Art of Chaos, there was a lot of discussion about how Facebook, Meta, Instagram basically said, if you upload art to our platform, we will use it to train our AI. And so, as you're starting, not that I'm big enough for anyone to even try and copy my art style, but there's been so many cases of, like, even a book cover artist I follow, a lot of her designs are found on Temu, just on like random tote bags, t-shirts, blankets, and she was trying to fight to get them removed. And then you have other well-known artists who their art has been used to train AI, and or like people are copying their style with AI. Not to say that like artists have always gotten inspiration from each other and like people they look up to since when they're learning forever, but with AI, there's a kind of dirtiness to it, and so
because you're not learning. The point of like painting like Van Gogh and you spending like 6 months doing it like that is that you learn his brushstrokes, and then you do another 6 months of somebody else's style, and like we did that throughout photography of different people. You try their style for a while, and then eventually you'll find one that clicks with you.
Yeah.
And you enjoy doing. And you find your taste. That's how you find your taste, and you learn different things.
Tell me more about Mr. Mackesy.
So that's where I was going with that. Basically, he was doing well and did even better. So this is officially the longest hard book on the best-selling list of the Sunday Times.
Now,
So
I think
hardcover,
I
sorry.
remember talking in class about this very, very briefly, and they said COVID helped it a lot.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. COVID helped this massively, especially because it was early COVID when we were still all friends and the Thames was clean and everything was fine, and we were like, "Oh my god, we could build a better world!" And there was like dolphins everywhere, and it was great for like 7 weeks, and then we returned spectacularly to form and started hating each other, and tyranny ensued, basically. But before that, we all loved each other briefly, and this book came out exactly then. And yeah, as you alluded to before, this is very much centered on a philosophical thing. So there's 4 characters: the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. Each one kind of represents I don't think he shows any bones in this, any way of hiding this, but they're quite obviously like the boy is like curiosity, and kind of childish innocence. The mole is, I mean, these are just mine, so you could all have your own ideas of what these represent, but these are kind of mine. The mole is remaining present and small wins. Like a lot of the time, he's just like, just sit and eat cake. Everything's better if you just like sit here, have a cake. Your day will be a bit better. He's also a bit forgiving. The fox is the silent, brooding one. I think he shows a bit of fear, the aggression and fear kind of mixed together. He's quiet. There's one part where he threatens the mole, and then the mole, when they meet, he threatens the mole and he says, "If I wasn't tied in the snare, I'd kill you." And the mole lets him free anyway. And then he's like, "Oh, we're in love."
Aww. If only that worked in real life.
If only that worked in real life. So he does like show this kind of instant aggression to fear and fear of love. I think that's what he's kind of the snare shows the boundary between, like, if you let that boundary go, you become less scared and become a happier, more loving person. He also is quite quiet. One of his quotes is, "I often feel I have nothing interesting to say." The horse obviously represents strength, but with that, he's kind of like the horse, I feel, represents like a boxer kind of character in Animal Farm, and he's kind of supposed to get up and get on with it and be strong. And so a lot of his quotes are regarding like asking for help, and the strongest thing that you can do is to reach out to people and tell people you're not okay. I think he's supposed to represent the kind of the stoic idea, and actually being like, no, that's great sometimes, but other times you do need to just be like, "Look, I'm struggling. Can you give me a hand with this? Or can you just listen to me for a second?" And that is okay. Yeah. So that is the 4 characters. They go on kind of a slight journey, although this is not plot heavy in the slightest. And it's not
Tag
supposed
yourself.
to be. Like, it's... What? Like myself?
Tag yourself. Which character are you?
Tag yourself. Well, you're supposed to be all of them.
Okay. That's not the meme.
That's not the meme, is it? I want to try and be the mole.
Ah, you do celebrate
Small wins,
cake.
forgiveness, living in the present. Just, you need to,
Living
like,
in
there's
the
a lot of shite out there, and I think
do
that
say
if you just count the small wins, your day's better. Because there are small wins in a day. Even a shit day has like little bits where you're like, "Oh, okay, this person held the door for me," or, "Ooh, this tastes nice."
I'll take that. I'll also
yeah.
accept you can be all 4.
I'd like to think I was like the strong stoic like horse who's, but I think I'm just a mole. I'm just a little idiot that likes that
Well, you
like
could be
snacks. How about yourself?
Dunno. The child.
I was just about to say it's the boy. Obviously, it's the boy. It's the curious, wants to find
Main
his way
character
home.
energy.
Warriors, self-doubt.
I think my comment contradicted the accusations you were flinging at me.
So we could talk about the story. a little
Oh no,
bit.
talk more about the art or the story.
Okay, to the art.
Oh,
So there's
story.
some water. No, we're
You
doing art now. But
said-
you said talk about the art. I'm going to talk about the art
okay,
because he
on
is
the notes
fundamentally
you
an
sent
artist.
me, art comes first.
True, but
I'm
I pretended
following
I wasn't.
along.
I didn't know art.
I'm
I
a
didn't have. I
studious
pretended I didn't have notes.
notes.
No,
Well,
I do really. So he is first and foremost an artist. So we can discuss the art. That does make a lot of sense. So there is some watercolor in this. It is mainly though inks and water. So it will be calligraphy and ink with a brush. So this is a technique that I've used or tried to use in peaks and in just general thing, and it looks simplistic in concept, but it is extremely hard in practice, and I was terrible at it, and so I was really annoyed by this work. The reason why it is quite hard, and we'll get into a bit more later, but like once it's done, it's done. Like it can't be altered, especially when it comes to the water. It can't be altered or erased. There's nowhere to hide, and we'll talk more about like the history of the art style. But a lot of the masters of these they took years and years to perfect their brush strokes, and so they could change their calligraphy from strokes to shadows very quickly and easily with one stroke. But like I say, it takes years and years and years. So this as an art is incredible.
we did a class in, I think it was Japanese style brush painting at one of the Smithsonian's when I was a kid.
Oh, that's really cool.
My mom hung back. This was so long ago, so I might not remember the details of this entirely correctly. But my mom took us, and she had done one, and then went up to ask the organizer a question. And the woman who had led it, the artist, was there. And so she took, like, she saw my mom there, and I guess thought she was up there asking for an autograph or something, or like, but she took her brush and like made these gorgeous mountains in like 2 seconds. On like a canvas my mom had, and now we have it framed in our house.
Oh
And my
wow,
mom
that's
was
really
like,
cool.
Oh wow, because like she was asking questions, she wasn't there for that per se, but it turned out to be this like really cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that story. Well, maybe you'll be good at it if you were practicing.
No,
as a
it was
child.
like an hour. Like they were doing a special exhibit at the Smithsonian and one of the
Yeah.
art galleries, and yeah, it was just like an afternoon thing we did in the summer. It was fun.
Yeah.
I would love to be good at it, but
Yeah,
as you
I'd
said,
love to be good at it. There's some
there's
like
a lot of skill.
half ways of doing it on if you look at YouTube, there are like some not cheating ways because they still look beautiful, but like you water down the paper and then you drop ink, but to have control over it, which this Charlie Mackesy does and other artists that we'll talk about, you really need to spend a long time to be able to like know exactly what you're doing and recreate it, because a lot of it comes down to randomness of water flow and how the ink combines. So the history of it, and this is heavily influenced by the ink wash paintings of China. Now it's interesting you said Japan, because before researching this, I would have thought it was a Japanese technique, but the Chinese predates it like by quite a long show. So this originated around, probably not originated, but became popular during the Tang dynasty, which is 600 to 900 Common Era, or AD if you prefer. And it was, this is a combination, same as this book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. It's like a combination of calligraphy and watered ink, so it would be moving from one to the other. And it was seen as a scholarly pursuit. Now, this is also fun. There were 4 scholarly pursuits, a gentlemanly scholarly pursuit in China at this time. You get points if you guess them. And whilst you're thinking of it, I'm going to
I don't
find
even
my
know,
notes
like,
because
what
I
do
can't
you-
remember. So this is one of them. The art is one.
Oh, like this specific art, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they say Chinese art, but I mean, they probably just called it art.
So it's not
I
like-
was reading was like, so it's
It's not like
this
one is
version of
painting, one is poetry.
no, it's not one. Not one. One isn't painting. One is poetry. These are kind of combined.
Okay. So one is art. One
What is art?
is surely like math. Did they do mathematics, accounting? Like being a scholar?
No. Actually, no. Calligraphy is another. So art and calligraphy, you can have that because you did say
I was
poetry.
lied to.
You were lied to, but you did say it correctly. So
Writing?
there's two more to get.
Is writing included in art?
Calligraphy. That's
Oh my god, physical strength?
nope.
Oh, I guess they're scholarly pursuits.
Yeah.
No finances, no writing. Oh, magistrate, judge,
Nope. Scholarly.
scholar. The classics? No, they wouldn't.
I would imagine that these are. I would imagine this is like at a time when probably like scholarly pursuits in ancient Greek and ancient Rome, where you had a quasi or slave caste. So like your menial tasks were done. So in Sparta, for example, like a Spartan citizen, theirs was pure leisure time. They didn't have job. Like you weren't allowed to have a job. You weren't allowed to do anything. You had a slave caste that would do everything for you. So these people were just there to learn and
Making
expand and
slavery
do all
sound a
this.
bit too enticing.
No. This
bad.
isn't a
We're
pro-slavery.
against
This
slavery.
is an anti-slavery podcast. Yeah, I think we could go out on a limb and say that we're against slavery.
We are against slavery. Okay, let me think. Scholarly pursuits: dancing, sword fighting.
No.
Um,
There's a massive one that you'll kick yourself, like really
Reading?
obvious. No.
worshipping the monarchy, the dynasty.
No.
Oh, religion, priesthood.
No.
Okay, scholarliness was attached.
I'm
to
not.
religion.
Yeah. I'm not saying that any of these are like wrong. Apart from worship.
Gardening?
I did laugh at that one. Good guess, but no. That is a good guess because in
writing,
Islam that is a
poetry.
big factor.
Calligraphy,
Which I know
art,
China and Islam are different,
poetry, tarot reading, candle making.
but no. Candle
Um,
making. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna
Cooking?
tell you now because
Cooking.
you're just guessing of no because that's not a scholarly pursuit. Again, you would have had somebody that cooked for you, I assume. Stringed instrument,
Oh.
so music.
Oh.
Which I thought you would have
so
guessed.
close with dance.
I thought you would have guessed like straight off the bat, which is why I let you. And then the other one, which is interesting, which I'm going to tell you straight away because you will never get this, but it's the strategic game called Go. So they call it Qui.
Oh,
the game
we
is called
actually talked about that in school, or maybe I read it.
Well, I
in
was
a
going to
book.
say you and I watched it when we watched the One Piece live action because that's the game that the general plays with the cadet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I had no idea that this was a real game. And it has like 50 million players worldwide. And it's like a really popular, huge game. And I have no idea about it. I kind of want to learn it.
I think I saw some people on YouTube playing it. Some like streamer gamers.
Well, I don't do any of these. Maybe art, but I don't do any of these scholarly pursuits. So I need to start. I'm letting the side down. I know I have to work and what have you.
Become a scholarly. I play the ukulele sometimes.
There you go. You're halfway there. You do art as well. You just need to do calligraphy and you need to learn Go. And you're
Be a scholar of
a
the Tang
scholar
Dynasty.
in the eyes of the ancient Chinese gentleman class.
Oh, did they let women engage?
I don't know. I don't. You're on the edge of as much as I know about ancient China, the Tang Dynasty. I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right.
Next time I will. Well, anytime we're around here, I'll spend more
Look
time
more
in this
into
area,
women's
but
interests.
I'll look more into women's rights.
you.
My apologies. So, it's heavily influenced by surroundings and the natural world, which is why, again, I think that there's a good comparison with The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, because again, that's very nature based. Even if it's not an environmentalist piece of literature, it's an incredibly it's placed within the natural world. Obviously, with three of the four characters being animals. Well, all of them being animals, but you know what I mean. So this is used in Shanshui, which I've definitely pronounced wrong, but please give me a what's it. So this started in China, taken to Japan by Buddhist monks.
Cool.
Could be Zen Buddhists,
Oh.
because Zen Buddhists started 300 years before this came to China, and it was Zen Buddhists that took it to. It was Buddhist monks that took it to Japan, but I don't know. But today, Zen Buddhists would still use this as meditation techniques.
I think we have a Zen Buddhist book in this house somewhere. And they
Then
have
you
the
can have a look.
brushstroke art.
Oh, really? Then yeah, there you go. That aligns with what I'm saying. Within it, the mountains are a key point. It's mystical, it's spiritual. The gods lived in the mountains. There's a winding path. You weren't allowed straight lines in. You weren't allowed straight paths. You had to be winding, which is interesting because two of the paths here, there's no page numbers, which I thought there was. I've got them marked up, but you can't see them. There are winding paths throughout the book as well, which is quite interesting.
Did you look why it had to be a winding path? In the art or just in their meditation?
In the art, there had to be a winding path. I think it was to do with the joint with nature. Like nothing in nature is like a straight line. That's a very human trait, whereas these were more meandering. I assume because it was meditative in life, and life isn't just an A to B journey as well. Like it does meander with like a stream. So, and you're on the path to. I think it's the metaphor is like you're on the path to the gods, because there was a lot of thresholds within the paintings as well. So you would see an inviting threshold to the mountains where the god lives. So I imagine there's quite a representation to the gods there. Later, this came over to Europe and inspired the Impressionist movement of the 19th century. The light qualities and the love of showing what you'd call today like a vibe, but like a theme through light and changing quality, as opposed to an accurate representation of the scene. You would show like its feeling, its mood, and that's kind of what this book does, and what you see throughout the Shanshui and the Impressionist movement as well. There's kind of that very fluid line. Now, I think I remember us talking about this, and you said it was true, but I read somewhere that Monet, the reason why his paintings are like that is because he had bad eyesight.
I believe he had cataracts.
That's it.
And so when he got older, he struggled to paint, but you couldn't, like, because he didn't have very sharp lines. I don't want to say he could get away with it because, you know, some paintings are just blobs of color, but like he was still able to do his style for a little bit longer.
Style, yeah. That kind of aligned with what I'd heard, but I couldn't remember if it was just a rumor or not, that his famous ones of the garden, like that's how he actually saw, as opposed to.
Yeah, I just pulled up an article from PBS News, and they're typically a pretty good source. Ophthalmologist Dr. James Raven published an essay on Monet's cataracts.
So yeah, he did have cataracts then, and yeah, it would have affected his art because obviously it's a visual medium, isn't it? So interesting. So that's kind of where this story and the journey of the art comes by, and you can see it throughout this because you can see a lot of construction lines and his watercolor throughout it. So it's to show a lot of movement as opposed to being like accurate. Now the paintings are beautiful and they lend themselves very much to being like framed and Christmas cardy. Like the pages, like I say, the narrative is light and more fluid and philosophical. My closest... Go on, sorry.
Because you said like each page could be Christmas cardy. Do you think they did that on purpose, where each page could be standalone, beautiful image, nice quote, and easily marketed?
I would like to think that came more because he was an Instagram artist that did a story, as opposed to them all sat in a room and being like, make this as marketable as possible. I think I'd have more faith in the artist, that he's like, this is what I'm used to. I'll do a light story, but I'm not a writer. This is my style. You want this style? I can do a philosophical musings on that. Like, it doesn't detract from the book at all. And it is kind of a nice journey that they go to find his home. And it starts and ends in a nice place. Sometimes all you hear about there is the hate, but there is more love in the world than you could possibly imagine, is the ending quote, which is quite nice. It's happy to feel. And I think, like you said before, like the idea of that period of COVID when we were scared, but everybody was giving each other like 6 feet of space, or we were making sure that the elderly had time to go into the supermarkets early. And I remember being in the queue for the shops, and people let the paramedic cut in like well earlier than they kind of pulled up, and he was in his scrubs. I guess it's called scrubs the same, but like his uniform, and people like let him cut in and let them go to the shop because obviously they were so necessary in those early days. And I think that this very much, again, I wouldn't say it was like marketed like that, but it was very it followed that zeitgeist quite well.
Yes. And when people are looking for, when people are at home and have so much time to have internal musings, having something that's very gentle is good. And a lot of people were probably looking for some comfort.
Exactly. So I do think it was a right place, right time. That's not to detract from the book. It's a beautiful piece of art, but like, I do think it sold 8 million copies. So I think a lot of that came because it was right place, right time as well.
There is a lot of luck in publishing.
Oh, it's all luck, isn't it? Everything's luck.
In any media.
Yeah. So about the story, it is a more fluid, philosophical. My closest comparison I could think of was The Little Prince.
I'm going to say...
Go on.
Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, that's a really good one.
Thank you.
Oh, you might have won that one.
Just because looking at the art, there's a few images that really remind me of the 100 Acre Woods. I know that's more for children, whereas this is also for children, but I suspect could be translated for adults a little bit more. But like the animals in the woods, and the kind of gentle lessons. Yeah.
Well, the reason I wanted to do this is that I did such a violent graphic novel last time with the Joker, the Killing Joke, that I was like, I should probably do something that isn't just somebody paralyzed and people dying here. Like, I'll do something a bit softer, a bit nicer.
No fridging in this one.
No murder in this one. So yeah, mine was The Little Prince, purity mixed with human failings. So you kind of had those two, because the contrasting characters, like the fox has this aggression at the start, but it's rooted in fear, and the horse feels like he has to carry everyone, but is asking for help, and the boy's curiosity, and they both have foxes as the key characters as well. And I couldn't remember a lot of the quotes, but there's some amazing quotes from The Little Prince. Like, I might go back and read it, because one of his, like, you're responsible for your own rose. So like, it was having responsibility for what you create.
See, I think I have it in French. So
this is the thing, I read it in German as well. It's the first thing you read when you try and But like I think a lot of it went over my head. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think it was one of the first books I read in German.
Is it?
For that reason, it's quite a...
Who wrote it? What nationality is it?
French.
Okay, that's why I think.
But it's like it's one of the biggest. It's one of the most translated books of all times, I think, or it's got to be exciting. Up there. Yeah, it's very, very popular in that respect. Other quotes: most important part of a relationship is its uniqueness. So
What
each
book is that from?
relationship. This is all from The Little Prince.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can't buy friends in the shop. That's why most people don't have friends.
He's not trying hard enough. That's why I have friends.
They both have the joy in the mundane with this magical element. I'd say the Little Prince focuses more on loss, with the great line at the end, or towards the end, where it says, "You'll have been content to have known me when the prince dies."
Oh my god. Spoiler.
Sorry. And what is essential is invisible to the eye, which I think that is a great quote for both books. That is from The Little Prince, but I feel like a lot of what they discuss here is I was just about to quote something, but this is something that is visible to the eye. I've discovered something better than Coke. No, you haven't, said the boy. I have, said the mole. What is it? A hug. It lasts longer.
He discovered something better than what?
Cake.
Cake. Thank you.
Sometimes I worry you'll all realise I'm ordinary, said the boy. Love doesn't need you to be extraordinary, said the mole. So yeah,
Aww.
It's the essential is invisible to the eye. Yeah, it's quite nice. It was a good read. I read it just before bed, and reread it just before bed and fell asleep, and it was quite a nice way of falling
And then
asleep.
did you dream of animals? Raccoons?
Probably of raccoons. AI raccoons. Just creeping.
No!
Yeah. And that's me.
See, and you're working on Scavengers, which is a webtoon about little critters. But
little
they're
critters.
not happy.
And they use watercolor as well.
They're not. Like, where's that? Why are you laughing?
So
this is a valid
because
question.
you always say that. What was your question?
Are these gonna have nice life lessons, philosophical, happy
Scavengers
endings? Yeah.
I think a lot of my work has. The reason why I was laughing is because you call my work melancholy.
Would you disagree?
I wouldn't disagree, but it's funny that you say it. I
don't read a lot
think
of melancholy, so you're
I send you a
expanding
lot of
my horizons.
stuff, so you do. I think that yes, there'll be philosophical musings to it.
You do put happy endings. I will give you credit.
I was going to say I always have usually have a happy ending, because by the time I've written it, I need to have a happy ending.
Oh my god, I was telling you about that K-drama in a different podcast, and it did have a happy ending. It was good. Well done.
Yeah, I like that sometimes. Most of the time, I like a happy ending. I like
all of the time. I do.
Yeah. You just have to choose where to choose the end of your own story, don't you? Really, every story has a happy ending. You just have to end it there.
I don't think I think that is a sad way of looking at it, because that's like saying everything goes sour eventually.
No, because then eventually it'll get happier again. It's pendulum. Well,
Okay.
It was supposed to be a happy thing.
Pendulum. I want only happiness ever.
Do you have any further musings?
I don't think so. It sounds...
And I do know people listening still are wondering, this isn't a graphic novel, but it is kind of an art book, and I feel like...
It is an art book, especially because you wrote it as an illustrator.
This is an interesting... What is the limits of a graphic novel? Where do they become comic? Where do they become an art book? And what happens? Because a lot of comics are written, as you've said yourself, are written by non-writers. So they're not story first.
Because when we were doing Art of Chaos, I recall you looking it up and said a graphic novel has to be at least 54 pages. So is comic versus graphic novel a page length thing? Question mark.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, there are tropes that are associated with each one.
Yeah,
but
there's
if you look
tropes
at
that
like Saga, their episodes would be comics. But then when they put it together in the compilation, which I think is what most people engage with, then that's the graphic novel.
Yeah.
And even that art style, it's kind of spiky, but it's not the classic superhero comics art style.
Because it doesn't really go with, like, you would imagine a novel. I know you obviously have series novels more, like, a lot, but you would imagine a novel being a self-contained. I mean, Alan Moore has a problem with a novel in general. It would have a self-contained story arc that would finish. Alan Moore hates the term graphic novel. I do remember that because he says they're just expensive comics. So he was like, it's not a novel. A novel is a completely different thing. But
well, he's not going to listen to this podcast then.
He's really not going to listen to this podcast.
Lost that. Might do. Okay, maybe. I'll just rage at every time we say graphic novel.
Yeah. But I would say this is this is
an illustrated novel, a graphic novel, a visual story.
A visual story, yeah.
So a visual story is like, I think, a cross between a video game and a book, where it's like a game, but it's a set story.
Yeah, but then video games now have excellent writers behind them.
They do. But there are some where you can make decisions, but I think like visual novels are a little bit more like choose your own adventure, where it's like the same story, you just get to change little things.
Yeah. I'd say, it's almost like an illustrated poetry collection. I would say it's closer to that.
Okay.
Which is why, again, when I was saying about the Shan Shui and the Tang Dynasty, like it was about your poetry, your poetry and calligraphy, and then an illustration to represent what you've done. I feel like that is a good comparison of what this is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for
sharing.
Listening.
Any final words?
I don't have a single final word, actually. Yourself?
No. I think you did a lot of nice research. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Charles for talking about the boy, the mole, the fox, the horse. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for making it this far. Have a delightful day.
Bye.